Okay guys, time for some Stormhawk's Headcannon, where I talk about my headcanon for the Stormhawk's universe. And today I'm going to be talking about the other Raptor clans I created for my Stormhawk's universe. Yeah, in my headcanon, there are not just one Raptor species on in Bogotan and the world of Stormhawks. Bogotan and its raptors are only one of several in my headcanon that are different species of raptors. Just like how there are different species of lizards, there are different species of raptors in my Stormhawks headcanon. So I'm going to talk about several of these Stormhawks headcanon raptor clans and species that I've talked about, that I've kind of come up with. Starting off with the Terra Tropica clan. The Terra Tropica clan is a race of raptors who are not as big and bulky as the Bogotan raptors. They're more slender built, they're more agile, and they're not as big and tough. And you're probably wondering, well, if they're on Terra Tropica, why hasn't anybody seen them? Glad you asked that. Reason being is because they have the perfect camouflage. They can instantly camouflage with their surroundings. And they're very shy. They're not so much shy as they like their privacy, and they're much like chameleons mixed with the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. Not the actual Dilophosaurus from history, but yes, they are very much based off of the Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park, in that these guys are, they're about human size, they're about 5 foot, their tallest is about 5 feet, where most raptors on Bogotan range to 6 to 7 feet. But they're more, like I said, they're more slender built, they're more agile, and they live in trees, as opposed to the ground. They live in, treetop homes and huts, and they're savage. They are downright savage, but, they're so good at camouflage, they are really hard to see. Like, their skin will instantly change into their whatever background. The other thing is that, much like with the creature I based them off, the Jurassic Park version of the Dilophosaurus, they have these head crests. Males have these big, bright head crests to attract females, and they also have these bright frills that will shoot up, like a frilled lizard, when they're angry or they're fighting someone or trying to scare someone off. And yes, they do spit venom. The other thing is that they are carnivores. They do eat and they do kill. And the reason why no one's found them on Terra Tropica is that, one, Terra Tropica is so big and so dense that there's some parts tourists don't even go. And sometimes those tourists go missing. Sometimes there'll be a missing persons on Terra Tropica, and some people say, oh, it was the beach, they fell in the ocean, got drunk and fell on the beach, or got lost in the woods. But yeah, it was the raptors of Terra Tropica. They're also great. The raptors I created for Terra Tropica are also great night hunt. They have excellent night vision, and they do most of their hunting at night. And while they feed on mostly birds and other creatures that live on Terra Tropica, even the islanders are afraid of them. There are islanders, if you guys remember. They're kind of islanders, but yeah, there are islanders on Terra Tropica, and even they fear the Terra Tropica Raptor clan, because they are so good at hiding, and they're excellent killers. They have a venomous bite, they're capable of camouflage, and they are capable of building weapons of their own, mostly spears and arrows that are all poison-tipped. So, there you go. There's a little bit of the Terra Tropica raptors. So moving on to another raptor clan is the raptor clan from Terra Noctis, which is a Terra I created in my headcanon universe. Which Terra Noctis, real quick, Terra Noctis I created as like all of the Terra, all the inhabitants of the Terra live underground because the sun is so hot and the nights are so cold that the surface is mostly barren. All you see are these large cave systems, and in those cave systems are entire ecosystems of different life forms that all live underground, and they're all completely blind. Among that are the raptors of Terra Noctis. These raptors are more along the lines of salamanders. They're more like salamanders, and they're all born blind, but they have excellent hearing and sense of smell and touch. All their other senses are, of course, increased, and they are They're bigger. They're about as big as Repton's Raptor clan, but they're very pale. They're, like I said, they're born blind, and they use their tongues as a traditional reptile just to taste the air and smell it. So that's kind of their thing, is that they go around in this darkness, and they're they're peaceful. Unlike most other raptors, they're very peaceful, and they mostly feed on bugs and fish that live underground. They mostly live since they are based on salamanders, they're more amphibious, but they don't spend a lot of time in the water. They just mostly swim from place to place. They have these rock formations as their homes, and like I said, they mostly just feed on cave insects and fish and other small ant creatures that they can find. They're not big on hunting and killing bigger prey like something human-sized or like a wallop. They're more, like I said, they're very peaceful, and plus they're very big and slow unless they're in water, when they move very quickly. But like I said, they don't spend all their lives in water. It's just Terra Noctis, and have these rivers inside these cave systems that cause these creatures to evolve to get from one place to another. So there you go. There's a bit of the raptors of Terra Noctis. So next are the raptors of Terra Arius. Terra Arius is a very bird-like culture. That's another Terra. It's another Terra I created in my Headcannon universe, and Terra Arius is a very bird-like culture. And the raptors here are based off of the Archaeopteryx, which most of you guys know is like the first feathered dinosaur to be found. And as it would go, these raptors are feathered. They're very much like the velociraptors we've now started to see in paleontology and the Archaeopteryx. These are raptors who are very feathered, but they still have a lot of reptilian qualities to them, and they're very elitist. They believe that since they have feathers, they're capable of short-range flight. They believe they're more evolved than the other raptor clans. They believe that they are the more superior race. They're borderline neo-Nazis, kind of, in a way. Because they believe, like I said, they believe themselves to be so evolved and so ahead of themselves, ahead of the other species of raptors. They believe they are better suited to rule. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Anyway, so these raptors are more aggressive, and they're very where was I going? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. They're very authoritarian, and they, like I said, look down on the other raptors, and they're not only more evolved species, physically, they're also evolved mentally. They actually, instead of carrying more like tribal weapons, they carry actual blaster rifles and other weapons that are far more advanced than the other raptor clans. So that kind of gives them the edge over a lot of the other species. The other thing is that they believe themselves so superior over other races, is that they even believe they're above the conflict between the Cyclonians and the Sky Knights. But yeah, that's about it with the raptors of Terra Arius. There was another. I think that was about it. Actually, those are like the three major ones that Those are kind of it, really, for raptor clans. So yeah, you guys in the comments below, just comment below. Let me know, what do you guys think of these raptor clans? Do you guys like them? Do you guys hate them? And if you've had any created Stormhawk species or races, just comment below. Let me know. And yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.